In 2024, I shall not go to the polls. I have not registered. I believe that democracy has so far disappeared in the American empire that no two evils exist. There is but one evil party with two names, and it will be elected despite all I can do or say. There is no third party. On the presidential ballot in most states, 47 in 2024, instead of a red or blue party, a party combining yellow and blue will appear. Few will hear its appeal because it will have almost no opportunity to take part in the campaign and explain its platform. If a voter organizes or advocates a real third-party movement, they may be accused of seeking to spoil the election outcomes by taking votes away from one or the other party. Anything this alternative party advocates for by way of significant reform will be called socialist, and will of necessity be socialist in the sense that it must advocate such things as the limitation of private profit, social medicine, government housing, and federal aid to education, the total abolition of race bias, and a safety net for the welfare of its people. These things are the aim of socialism. Anyone who advocates them today, no matter how sincerely, stands in danger of losing Instagram followers, being canceled, or perhaps landing in jail. Those who organize against socialist principles may be called liars or hypocrites or criminals. They need give no proof for their charges and may not even be known or appear in person. They may be in the pay of the empire, by way of lobbyists and special interest groups. The so-called liberals are not third parties. They seek to act as tails to kites. But since the kites are self-propelled and radar-controlled, tails are quite superfluous and rather silly. The present empire is carrying out the greatest preparation for war in history. The weight of our taxation is unbearable and rests mainly and deliberately on the poor. This empire is dominated and directed by wealth and for the accumulation of wealth. It runs smoothly, like a well-organized industry, and should do so because industry runs for the benefit of industry. Corporate wealth profits as never before in history. We turn over the national resources to private profit and have few funds left for education, infrastructure, health, or housing. Any increase in crime is perfectly logical. The generations we have been teaching our youth to kill, destroy, steal, and rape in war, what can we expect in peace? We let people take wealth that is not theirs. If the seizure is legal, we call it high profits, and the profiteers help decide what is legal. If the theft is illegal, the thief can fight it out in court, with excellent chances to win if he receives the accolade of the right newspapers. Gambling on the stock market and real estate is increasing, and all prices are rising due to inflation. It costs more than 90 times a senator's salary to elect one, and many hundreds of millions to elect a president. This money comes from the very corporations that today are the government. This, in a real democracy, would be enough to turn the party responsible out of power. Yet this we cannot do. What has the empire done for black workers? What has the empire done for the American Indian and Native Alaskan? Through coordinated exclusion, these groups have been and continue to be denied wealth, while the nation sends billions abroad to protect oil investments. Very well, and will the party of the progressives do better than the conservatives if black voters return them to office? I have no advice for others in this election. Are you voting for one of the two main parties? Well and good. All I ask is why. Is the refusal to vote in this phony election a counsel of despair? No, it is dogged hope. It is hope that if 161 million registered voters refrain from voting now because of their own accord, and not because of a sly wink from failed empires of the past or current and aspiring settler colonialists of the future, this might make the American people ask how much longer this dumb farce can proceed without even a whimper of protest. Can they not see that American culture is rotting away? Our honesty, our human sympathy, our manners are gone. And the one thing we want is to be rich, to show off. Success is measured by income. University education is for income, not culture. We are not training poets or musicians, but engineers of artificial intelligence. Business is built on successful lying called advertising. We want money in vast amounts, no matter how we get it. So we have it. And what then? Is the answer the election of 2024? We can make a sick woman or man president and set them to do a job that would strain a person in robust health. So they die. And who do we get to lead us? With all the folks who now run for office under the two parties, we remain in the same mess. I will be no party to it, and that will make little difference. You will take a large part and bravely march to the polls, and that will also make no difference. Stop giving advice when we cannot rule ourselves decently. Stop yelling about a democracy we do not have. Democracy is dead in the United States. Yet there is still nothing to replace real democracy. Drop the chains, then, that bind our brains. Drive the money changers from the seats of the cabinet and the halls of Congress. Call back some faint spirit of Jefferson and Lincoln. And when again we can hold a fair election on real issues, let's vote, and not till then. Is this impossible? Then democracy in America is impossible.